Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Lecturer Ms. Mustika, and all of my beloved friends. First of all, we are thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Because of Allah, we are able to come here to join in this meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, the presentation today is about teachers' talk in English classroom interaction. Now, I will read one by one our agenda for today that are the first is opening, the second is introduction, the third is presentation, the fourth is closing. Well, ladies and gentlemen, let's open our meeting by saying basmalah together. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
For the next is introduction. We are from Group 6. My name is Resa Amelia Putri and my friends Aghisna Zaaiah Humaira and Fachira Rahmatullah R. For the next, we will explain about background of the study, aim of the study, related literature review, and research methodology. Next, please. For the next agenda is presentation. The first point will be delivered by Fachira. For Fachira, time is yours.
Thanks to the moderator. The first point of the background of the study is teachers and students are a fundamental element of educational interaction and need to be processed into attainment to achieve their goals. Wang, Hittel, and Welberg, 1990. In the fact that the way teachers and student interaction is very important for educational process. Teachers need to know how to make their students study well, especially in language learning. Teachers must know how to encourage students to involve the use of language. Teacher explain a little and the student give a response or question, so an interactive learning process is occur. According to Brown 1994, interaction is an exchange or collaboration ideas between teacher and student or student with another student to influence each other. That's all from me. Back to the moderator.
Thanks for Fachira. The second point will be delivered by myself. However, interaction between teachers and students did not occur, especially in online learning, because of limitation. Bowling 2012. The study conducted by Bowling 2012 found that most study participants view online course as individual learning and limited interaction with others. Ponderwell 2003 described a problem with students not engaging in conversation with one others and perceiving the online learning setting as impersonal. Online learning is like interacting with a computer, say one student. Here, 2010. Therefore, a teacher, especially an EFL teachers, must able to maintain interaction with students by paying attention to good vocabulary or sentence structure. A teacher and student agree that vocabulary acquisition is an important factor in teaching a language. Walters 2004. However, it is difficult for students to understand what is being taught as many teachers are not really paying attention. Meanwhile, EFL teachers are learners where they can also make a mistake in acquiring the target language. At least 1997 state that in the acquisition of second language, there will often be error and error of speaker. Thank you. The next point will be delivered by Fachira. Fachira, time is yours.
Thanks, moderator. In relation to the problem above, teachers' talk is quite powerful in developing teachers and student interaction because, as said by Yavin and Yuki in 2010, Sinclair and Brazil 1982, most of the time in the class is used to give direction, explain activities, and check student understanding. Sandro in 2010 defines a teacher talk as a language is usually used by foreign language teacher in the class. Liu and Zhu 2010 said, the characteristic conversation is a major asset of comprehensible target dialect input. Meanwhile, Xiaoyan 2006 defines that teacher talk is the type of language that used in the class. Walls 2010 said teacher talk is most important for language class than the other classes because the language used not only for new language but also for study, not only for class organization but also for acquisition process. Nunan, 1991. That's all from me. Back to the moderator.
Thanks to Fachira. The last point will be delivered by Aghisna. Aghisna, time is yours.
Okay, thank you to the moderator. Now I will explain about the last point. From the research that we use as a reference, most studies on student and teacher talk that has been conducted in the teaching English have shown that student and teacher talk is very important. According to Georgia and Gedeborge 2017, Alright 2001, and according to Walls 2011. According to Georgia and Gedeborge 2017, interactive teaching method suggests that students engage in the learning process and result on what they know and what they think. Then, according to Overall 2001, said that teacher talk is one of the important ways teacher used to convey and information and control student behavior. And the last, according to Walls 2011, teacher talk is more important for language classes than other classes because in this context, the language used by teacher to acquire new knowledge, but also a purpose of the study. I think that's all for me. Back to the moderator.
Thanks to Aghisna. Next slide, please. Next material is aim of the study will be delivered by myself. The aim of this study was to find out what types of teacher's talk used in the teaching of reading class. For example, teachers carry out certain communication activities in the classroom such as giving lectures, asking and answering questions, explaining and providing directions or instruction, and students participating in a two-way learning process, namely being active in asking and answering questions, while implementing online learning using Zoom or Google Meet. And the results of this study are expected to make teachers more encouraging students to be involved in the teaching and learning process. In addition, teachers can also try to improve their teaching method based on the categories of teachers' talk and be more aware to help students engaging class. This research will teacher will help teachers and students to create an effective learning process situation in the classroom. Thank you. The next material will be delivered by Aghisna for Aghisna time is yours.
Okay, thank you. Now I will explain about related literature review. According to Malahmah Thomas 1987, Part 20 affirms that FIAC could provide that information about classroom interaction include who, why, and how. In Flanders analysis categories, teacher talk is categories into 7 types. The types are accepting feeling, uh, praising or encouraging student, accepting or using a student idea, asking question, lecturing, uh, giving direction, or and criticizing, and the last is or justifying authorities. And according to FIAC2, the teacher talk has two main types. First is indirectly influenced, and the second or the last is directly influenced. But our group is just present or discuss about directly influence. Teacher directly influence student by first is lecturing student, second is giving direction, and the last is criticizing or justifying. The meaning of lecturing is to give fact or opinion about the content or procedure, or express his own idea as rhetorical question. Next, about the giving direction is mean direction, command, and orders which students are expected to compare with. And the last is about justifying or criticizing is mean a statement intended to change the student behavior from an unacceptable to an acceptable one. This type is used in our research because we want to see the language used by teacher in providing learning. I think that's all from me. Back to the moderator.
Thank you, Aghisna. The next Aghisna. The last material will be delivered by Fachira. Fachira, time is yours.
Thanks, moderator. Now I want to explain our research methodology. Research design. The study guide by case study, since the study aimed to find out the type of teacher talk used in the teaching of reading class. This is in the line with Chacol and Odell 2005 that have provided the use of case study to explore real clinical situation in the depth. Research site, one of the high school that has an accreditation in Garut. A public senior high school was chosen as the research site for some consideration. First, the school has a accreditation and the school consists of the variety of background of the student. Participant, a competent teacher who is familiar with using the Zoom and Google Meet application. Moreover, a teacher serves as the purposive participant. She is an English teacher who is familiar with using Zoom and Google Meeting application. The data instrument, we use observation as the instrument. The data of analysis, we use Flanders system of interaction analysis. Flanders system of interaction analysis in innovation, which made a possible significant insight into the analysis and improvement of instruction. Flanders, 1970. That's all for me. Back to the moderator.
Thanks to Fachira. Finally, we are come to the last agenda. I would like to say thanks for the presenters and all of audience, and sorry for our mistake. Thanks for attention. Any question? That's all from our group. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.